Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. Run for the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days. We have seen some heavy rain today, but over the next few days it's actually going to be turning quite a bit drier. We are still going to see some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms in the south and the west, but for most it's actually not too bad. Now, the upper air temperatures are generally around average, maybe slightly above, so we're not looking at anything too exceptional for those temperatures, but perhaps at the surface could be seeing 20 to maybe 22 degrees, so really not too bad, getting towards early summer average temperatures. So yeah, looking pretty pleasant. As we enter the longer range, we do start to see some more varying patterns. They do look like we're going to see high pressure starting to build back in, but we are seeing just some discrepancy between the models where that high pressure goes. Does it go over the top of us, to our south, or slightly to our north? And if it, for example, goes to our north, we could see a bit of a cut-off low developing, and some of the runs are showing that. Now, it wouldn't be absolutely horrible, but it would mean that we will see a continuation of sort of the conditions today, where we see small weather fronts moving in, giving areas of heavy rain, maybe more thunderstorm outbreaks, whereas if we saw the high pressure over the top of us, then we could really be talking about something drier and warmer. But we'll explore that in the second half of the video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now, if you start on the live radar, you can see we have got that rain that gave some pretty wet conditions throughout today, further northwards, now clearing into the Irish Sea and across the Republic of Ireland. Still got a few remnants of some showers, and we did see some very slow-moving showers across parts of Western England, but now slowly dissipating away. Temperatures this evening aren't too cold. Temperatures pretty much around average, maybe slightly above average. Lots of yellows here, so indicating we're still in the teens. If we do have a look at the UKV now, you'll be able to see the rain clearing away through this evening, and as we head into tomorrow, we do start to see a few showers breaking out, but really nothing too crazy. A few heavy thundery in places, but for most, it's just a generally pretty decent day. Still got a bit of cloud around, but we will see breaks in that cloud. As we head into Saturday, we do see a bit of rain in the southeast and maybe some thunderstorms in the southwest through the afternoon, but for most, again, not too bad. Plenty of dry conditions and even some more sunshine. As we head into Sunday, similar conditions, even less in terms of thunderstorms, maybe some across the Republic of Ireland, but for most, it's actually a very sunny and warm day. Temperatures here wouldn't be surprised if they got more widely into that 20 to 22 degree range. And then finally into Monday, another really nice day. Still some showers across Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, but for most, another pleasant day. And Tuesday, we do still see some drier, sunnier conditions, but more widespread shower outbreaks. And that is because the pressure is starting to lower. You can see a small area of low pressure is moving in, starting to form over the top of us. And this is just going to encourage those more wet and unsettled conditions. To look at the max temperatures, you can see as we head into tomorrow, we're looking widely around the high teens, maybe touching 20 to 22 degrees, as I said earlier. As we head into Saturday, similar conditions, again, could get up towards that 20 to 22 degree range where we see sunshine. And into Sunday, as I said, it could be pretty similar, maybe even more towards that 22 degree range, maybe even 23, as we do see more sunshine. Monday is a similar story, maybe not quite as warm, maybe a degree or two down, but still 20 to 22, and the same into Tuesday. So pretty persistent, consistent conditions over the next few days into early next week, with plenty of dry conditions. Showers around, yes, but plenty of dry conditions, quite a bit of sunshine, especially through the weekend, and generally some very warm, dry conditions. Now, if you do have a look at the longer range, if we start on the latest GFS, you can see low pressure to our south at the moment. That's caused all this rain today, but the pressure is going to slowly rise over the next day or two, and that's going to allow us to see those drier, warmer conditions through the weekend. As we head into the early part of next week, we do see that low moving in, forming over the top of us, but it quickly dissipates away. So it could give a day or two of unsettled conditions through Tuesday, Wednesday next week, but actually, for most, it won't be too bad. Longer range, this is where we see the high pressure over the top of us. But look at that low to our south. Does that move in? The latest GFS pushes it away, and we actually stay dry and warm all the way out to the end of the run. It actually looks pretty decent indeed. Yes, nothing crazy, no heat wave, but does look fairly pleasant. It has been definitely getting better over the past few days, where it did look generally showery in that medium to long range, but actually now it does look pretty decent indeed. Now, if you compare to the GM, again, low pressure to our south, high pressure starting to build in through the weekend, drier, warmer conditions, low pressure eventually breaking through, but then we see high pressure building back in, and again, looking pretty decent, warm and dry. Again, not ridiculous in terms of the upper air temperatures, but above average, yes. If we finish by looking at the latest ECMWF, again, we do see that low to our south, high pressure starting to build in through the weekend, drier, sunnier conditions. Low pressure has a brief breakthrough through Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and then high pressure builds over the top of us once again, and it looks really quite decent. No southerly winds, so it does mean that we're unlikely to see anything as really warm, but definitely something pretty decent here. The 10-degree isotherms even in, so I wouldn't be surprised to see mid-20s once again if this sort of pattern came off. So definitely looking pretty decent through that medium term. If you finish by looking at the latest ensembles, you can see generally average to above average over the next week or so. Then you get into early next week where we saw that low move, so we could see some briefly below average conditions, but actually we get back to above average conditions that dominates throughout the rest of the period, and actually does look really quite decent indeed. Precipitation isn't zero, and that is because low pressure is still going to be close by, so we're still likely to see showers, but as you can see from the latest UKV, actually it is going to be pretty dry and pretty warm in many areas. And yes, if you get caught out by those showers, it won't be great, but it won't be every day, and areas will see fluctuations in those shower activity. If you look at the 2 meter temperatures, generally hovering around the high teens, if not low 20s, so again, fairly decent. And finally, if we do compare to the latest ECMWF ensembles, generally above average over the next few days, then we see that dip early next week with that low moving through. Again, unlikely to really impact us all too much on the surface because it is very brief, a day or two of slightly chillier conditions, and then generally we go back towards average or above average once again. Precipitation still minimal. It definitely looks like the operational runs were some of the driest runs from the ensemble suite, but regardless, it still doesn't look like an absolute washout. And as I said, if we expect showers and we get to the shorter range and those showers dissipate away, then it's good news. The last thing we want to do is say it's going to be dry and warm throughout the rest of May, and then we get to it and it's actually very wet. So we'll have to wait and see what the shorter range runs are showing. But from the looks of the ensembles, definitely on an upwards trend in terms of temperatures again, definitely looking positive in terms of drier days, and definitely we'll have to just keep an eye on those thunderstorm risks nearer the time. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.